What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel, man. If this is your first time, welcome. I already know why you're here. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, and your desktops, and you're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture. You are in the right place. This is part 2 from the live stream that I did yesterday, titled How to Increase in Spiritual Rank. Okay, so if you haven't had a chance to watch that live stream, go back and check it out. And I believe it is going to bless you and give you some insight of how to do this. For those of you who did watch the live stream yesterday, comment below. Let the people know how you felt about it. Let the people know if you got something good out of that video. So picking up where I left off, Potiphar's wife, okay, Joseph. Joseph was actually sold into slavery. And I told you guys that in order to overcome temptation, if you want to elevate in spiritual rank, there's things that you have to do. There's prerequisites like prayer and fasting. But these things by themselves do not elevate you in spiritual rank. But when it comes time to facing temptation, the closer you are to God, the more revelation you have from God, the easier it's going to be for you to overcome that sin. When you fast, when you pray, when you seek God, when you spend time with God, one of the things that I mentioned in my last video, a live stream, increasing the spiritual rank, is that God will give you prophetic dreams. He will give you prophetic dreams. And prophetic dreams are dreams that God is giving you a glimpse into the future. He's showing you how your life is going to be. Whatever God has promised you, he's showing you in your dreams. Okay, so it may be the career that you're going to be working in, or it may be the spouse that he has prepared for you, or it may be you overcoming some obstacle that you're currently facing. But the prophetic dream is something you need to where when you actually face temptation, you have something to look back to. You have something to remember. That's a promise from God. See, God gives you promises, and your responsibility is to believe and to trust in those promises. So much so that it empowers you to overcome sin. So this is why I'm bringing up Joseph. You got to go back and watch that live stream if you haven't. This is why I'm bringing up Joseph. Joseph had a dream when he was 17 years old that his brothers would bow down to him. Not only his brothers, but his father and mother would bow down to him. The stars and the moon bowed down to Joseph. Right? Joseph revealed this dream to his brothers. His brothers became jealous. They hated him so much so that they actually sold him into slavery. They actually strategized and came up with a plan to get rid of their brother. Despite how their father would feel about them offing their brother, they could care less. They hated Joseph. They were jealous of the destiny that God had prepared for him. And so Satan, because he's stubborn, he's ignorant, he doesn't care, even though he knows he's going to lose, he will try his hardest to derail your destiny, to make sure that the promises of God in your life don't come to pass. So he enters into his brothers. He begins to influence them. They begin to plot, scheme, and plan to sell their brother into slavery. They sold him into slavery. He goes to Egypt, and Joseph is blessed with knowledge and wisdom. And Potiphar actually buys him as a slave. He buys him as a slave. And Joseph is expanding Potiphar's household. Joseph is increasing, and he's making life easy for Potiphar. Now, Joseph had to be a good-looking man. Right? Strong, physical, handsome. He's living in Potiphar's household. Potiphar's wife, she takes a liking to Joseph, the Hebrew boy. She takes a liking. He's smart. He's wise. He's good looking. So she pursues him. She comes after him to have sex, to commit adultery, to commit treason against his master, who actually brought him into slavery and actually gave Joseph the keys to the household. He's treating Joseph not like a slave. Joseph has a high status within the family. He has trust for Joseph. And she's asking Joseph to commit the ultimate treason, to sleep with her in Potiphar's house. Imagine the wickedness. Now, you have to understand something. Even though Joseph is a slave in Egypt, Satan is still working. He didn't stop with getting Joseph shipped out to Egypt through slavery. He wants to continue to make sure that Joseph never achieves his destiny. Remember, this is a continuation of how to grow in spiritual rank, how to elevate. Satan enters in. Satan begins to influence. The spirit of lust begins to come upon Potiphar's wife, the spirit of adultery, and she begins to pursue Joseph. I told you guys that temptation, God does not tempt any man, but man is tempted when he is drawn away by his own lust and enticed. Jesus was led away into the wilderness to be tempted. You will be tempted. You will be tempted according to the level of your spiritual rank. For those of you who are still beating your meat, choking the chicken, desecrating keyboards, laptops, and desktops, oh Lord, that's going to be the height of your temptation. Your temptation is going to be coming across Instagram pictures, watching porn. You're never going to have a beautiful woman tempt you because you haven't overcome these base level temptations. Joseph is at another level. Joseph is at a level spiritually because of his faith, his trust in God, overcoming sin. He's growing. So now he's presented with a major temptation. Now, I would imagine that Potiphar's wife was quite beautiful. Like, why would you be, a person of that high status and choose some woman who's not aesthetically pleasing? So imagine this beautiful woman coming at you to get you to sin. No one's going to know. He'll never know. Just beat me down. Beat me down. Potiphar will never know. Joseph says, how could I betray my master who's done all these great things for me? He's given me the keys to the household. He trusts me. How could I then turn around and sin against him, sin against God? How could I do that? She rips. This is how Satan comes at you. She rips his clothes. She tears them. She wants the D. She wants it. But it's not really that she wants the D. What she really wants, and it's not even her. She doesn't even know she's probably being used by Satan. Her body has just been handed over, right? She's already lustful. She doesn't even know what's going on. She doesn't know that she's being used by Satan. Satan wants to extract that destiny from Joseph. See, he doesn't really understand what the plan is. He knows that God has a plan to redeem all the way back from Genesis. When Adam sinned, he said, the seed of the woman will crush the seed of the serpent. You will bruise his heel. He will crush your head. That was the first proclamation of the gospel. He wants to prevent this from happening. So he knows that God is raising up a remnant. He's raising up a seed that's going to bring the Savior into the world and save man from sin. So Satan is trying to stop you. Your destiny, Satan is trying to stop you, bro. So let's get back to the story. How do we increase in spiritual rank? Okay. So Joseph flees. He runs. She rips his clothes. He runs. He escapes. He runs from sin. He's like, nah, I ain't doing it. Nope. I can't do that. I'm a man of integrity. I'm a son of the Most High God. Plus, Joseph has a memory, an image of what God has promised him. He's not going to forfeit that to beat down Potiphar's wife. Now, this was going to happen. This is what you guys got to understand about temptation. He would have beat her down 1 or 2 times, maybe just once. And then she would have blackmailed him. She would have used him. She would have made Joseph her slave. He would have had to do everything this woman said because she would always threaten him with the fact that they slept together. So either way, he was going to be messed up, right? But he chose to flee and to run away from sin. He gets thrown into prison. He gets thrown into prison. But what you have to understand is at this moment, Joseph, though he's in prison, has increased in spiritual rank. He's on another level. I'm about to break this down for you, man. I really, guys, hope you guys are really understanding what I'm saying. I want you to put your life in the framework of what I'm saying. And I want you to really get this. Though he's increasing in spiritual rank, he's in prison. So it doesn't look like he's been promoted. It looks like he's being promoted. But spiritually, he's up there. He has crossed a threshold. He has reached a level. He's reached another level, right? Few years pass, however long it goes, 2 people, the baker and the wine bearer, are sent to prison. They have terrible dreams. He interprets the dreams. He tells one, you're going to be restored. The other one, he says, you're going to have your head chopped off in 3 days. The one who's restored, he tells him, listen, bro, when you go back, remember me. Remember me. I interpreted that dream for you, bro, but it wasn't for free. Remember me when you go back to Pharaoh. Pharaoh has a dream. God sends Pharaoh a dream that's terrifying. No one can interpret it but Joseph. The cupbearer says, oh, there's this guy who interpreted the dream. He told me that I was going to be restored and that the baker was going to be, his head was going to get chopped off. And it came to pass. Go get him. Joseph goes before the king. He hears the dream. He understands the dream. He interprets the dream. Comes up with an amazing plan to save Egypt from famine. He's promoted to second in command. Not only is he second in command, he's now ranked above his master Potiphar, who threw him into prison. Potiphar didn't want to throw him into prison. Potiphar loved Joseph. He loved him. He didn't want to throw that man into prison. But he had to because of the accusations of his wife. This is what I want you guys to understand, is that there are people out there that hate you. They hate you. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see your success. They don't want you to elevate in spiritual rank. Satan does not want you to elevate in spiritual rank, because when you elevate in spiritual rank, your prayers have impact. They hold weight in the realm of the spirit. You're able to get things done. You shut them down. Witchcraft attacks. Whatever is coming your way, you're going to shut it down because you have a certain level of authority in the realms. He increased in spiritual rank. Now, let's rewind a little bit. He overcomes temptation. He goes to prison. Then from going to prison, he's elevated because he interprets the dream. Now he's second in command. See, Joseph increased in rank, which allowed him the capacity to be able to handle the position that God had designed for him, that God had prepared for him. But if he would have failed for that temptation, if he would have failed for Potiphar's wife, if he would have failed for something so low, so debased, how could he have been second in command in Egypt? If a man doesn't have discretion, if a man doesn't have control over his own body, how will you be able to control the masses? He was second in command. He's like the vice president. He's the king's right-hand man. How can you be the king's right-hand man? How can you be trusted with that level of power and authority if you can't turn away from sin, turn away from a suggestion to sleep with your master's wife after she comes upon you, after she rips your clothes off? See, you have to understand this, man. I want you guys to get to the next level. The reason you're not making it to where you want to go is because you are not overcoming temptation. When you overcome temptation, you increase in spiritual rank. You solidify your spiritual rank. You got to understand, when temptation comes, you're being led away to be tempted by the devil. What will you do? Will you fall for the tricks, the schemes, the plots, the plans, the snares, the traps of your enemies? Will you forsake, forfeit, turn away, take for granted the promises that God has given to you via prophetic dreams? Will you forfeit that for a temporary act of pleasure that's only going to last but a few seconds? Do you want to bug so bad that you will forfeit your destiny? Guys, I want you to increase in spiritual rank. Man, hit the like button for your boy if you're getting value out of this video. I want you guys to increase in spiritual rank. If you haven't watched the live stream, I suggest you go back and watch that live stream so you can get the full gambit of what I was saying, because these two videos go together. But I dropped a lot of heat in that video. You definitely need to check it out, because there's pieces that you need from that video. Listen, I'm going to actually tag the video in this description so you can watch it. Listen, man, this is Hold My Nuts Podcast. I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video. Peace.